This is WVUA 23 News at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sarah Macaluso. Jabari Pruitt has the night off. We start tonight with our continuing coverage of the shooting at a movie theater in Lafayette. We're learning the shooter once trashed his former home in Phoenix City, Alabama, after he was evicted. He destroyed nearly everything in the house before new owners moved in. But he did leave one thing untouched, and it looks like something out of a horror movie. Alex DeRenzi visited the home today.
From the outside, this looks like an ordinary home. A nice front lawn, a swimming pool, a beautiful kitchen with modern appliances. But what about the purple paint on the driveway? The steps. That paint is from 2014, put there, according to authorities, by John Russell Hauser. Norman Bone bought the house at an auction in February of that year. After he bought it, he went to the home to find out when Hauser would be leaving, but he says Hauser had some choice words for him and slammed the door. Hauser then missed his court date for the eviction. When he did, the new owners, Bone, his daughter, and her boyfriend, Dan Ramsell, went to the house along with a police officer.
And he wanted to clear the house before we walked in. I said, the back door is usually open. He walked back there, he said, no, it's locked. I said, no. So I walked back there and I pushed the door open, it was open. Police officer said, well, hold on, don't go in, let me clear the house. So he walked in and he says, get back.
The officer said that because Hauser booby-trapped the house, disconnected a gas line, threw paint everywhere, along with more destruction. But in an eerie calling card of sorts, he left his estranged wife's wedding dress untouched in a closet.
And he goes, I bet you that he is crazy enough that that might be the shooter in Louisiana. I said, there's no way. I know he's crazy, but I mean, he didn't do anything to these people over there. And I get chills saying that because, you know, I was scared when he was over here and he almost blew my loved ones up.
I just had that feeling, you know, sometimes you get that gut feeling, you know, it's just something that I just had, you know, it's got to be him.
A vigil was held tonight for the two victims who died in the shooting. Now taking a look at news around Alabama, the body of Michael Dwayne Graham, who's been missing for 12 days, was found in a freezer at his home in Greenville on Friday. Authorities are classifying his death as a homicide. Graham was last seen alive on July 12th. The body and freezer have been taken to the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences for examination and an autopsy. Authorities have not released the cause of death. The question of whether Tuscaloosa should have a board to act as a channel of communication between the community and city is being asked. WVUA 23's Yostina Banoub is live in the studio with more. Yostina? The 13th annual Hot 100 bike race kicked off this morning. The event is made possible by the Hale Empowerment and Revitalization, or HERO, volunteers. The race had over 600 bikers biking from 29 miles up to 103 miles. This year, they hope to raise $50,000. Funds raised from the event will benefit the Tuscaloosa Mental Health Alliance. Participant Randy Charles biked a whopping 103 miles today, and he says the heat was tough, but you had a great support system.
A big part of these kind of rides is that you're riding with other people. So you're able to push each other, and you could take turns pulling in front, and when someone else needs a break, you could pull a little bit. But that's a big part of the fun, but also a big part of the challenge. It's riding with other cyclists.
If you would like more information on the Hot 100 for next year, visit bikehot100.com. You can also check out their Facebook page and Twitter. In news around the nation today, grieving family and friends of Sandra Bland gathered in Illinois for her funeral today. The 28-year-old was found hanged in a Texas jail cell 2 weeks ago, several days after she had been arrested following a traffic stop. Bland's death remains under investigation, but prosecutors are pointing to preliminary autopsy results that say she committed suicide.
We're going to be celebrating the life of Sandy Bland. We're going to be celebrating the fact that she found her voice in social justice. We're going to be celebrating that she walked and lived in her own truth. And we'll celebrate that she was a courageous woman who refused to be subdued or silenced.
Bland's family doesn't believe she committed suicide and is calling for an independent autopsy. Still to come, is there any break from the heat in the future? WVUA 23 meteorologist Peter Crank will have the answer coming up.
That's right, Sarah. We have seen plenty of warm temperatures across the area. What can we expect for the day tomorrow? I'll break it all down, as well as the work week forecast coming up in weather. We'll be right back.
It seems like this heat is never leaving us. Peter, what do we have to look forward for this week?
Unfortunately, the heat is going to continue for the next several days. The 90s are still in the forecast. Give and take on that one.
All right, thanks a lot, Peter. That's all the time we have for news, but BJ and Jen are in the studio ready to bring you this weekend's exciting sports action. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? We usually